Morning, everyone. I'm Alysha. This is Fredo, and this is the Sporting Tribune Report. Good morning, Fredo. Wow, we saw this coming, and it's officially confirmed. Aaron Rodgers, the Jets quarterback, season-ending injury. Yes, it's the Achilles. And wow, the backlash on what allegedly caused this injury, huh?
Yeah, it is a devastating thing for the city of New York. And one thing that I kind of realized yesterday was that the injury occurred on 9/11 in New York. So it seems like, it's just a bad sign for for the city of New York over there. But I wish them nothing but the best. But yeah, the issue with the turf, man. It
Yeah.
seems like that always has been an issue, because there are multiple stadiums. Whether they have, I know there's a few of them, like I believe in Chicago, they has like real grass. Some stadiums have turf, so it's a different type of situation for all the players. Wearing cleats and the way they set their foot down on the floor and stuff like that. And I saw a video. I don't know if you got a chance to see the video of Aaron Rodgers when he went down. You can see it on his calf, like that muscle just popping out. Like it was a disgusting video to see, because I was just trying to see what happened, and you can see the moment it tore right there, and it's devastating for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. 4 plays in, he goes down, and allegedly, it is the new turf at MetLife Stadium there in New Jersey that caused Aaron Rodgers' foot to get stuck. And that's where you saw the calf just, expand and tear the Achilles. So again, Aaron Rodgers confirmed out for the season. And there is speculation, like you and I were discussing earlier off camera, how this could be the end of Aaron Rodgers' career. I mean, he could not return because it takes a year to heal up traditionally. And then
Mhm.
some say, some experts and some former players, that you need another year to get back to playing levels. So that could have been the last time we actually see Aaron Rodgers play for the NFL. We hope not, right?
Well, we hope not, no, because he's had a tremendous career in Green Bay over the last few 15 seasons he's been over there. But of course, an injury like that, you will. I don't want to say he will never be the same, but is he will never be close to being the same a player he has been over the last few years. And same thing that happens to a lot of players that just deal with the same injury. They go out, they don't get back on the football field for at least 18 to 24 months. And by that point, he's Aaron Rodgers is going to be 41, close to 41. He's 39 right now. So it just sucks, as it blows the whole like air out of like the excitement of the first weekend of football, especially like Monday Night Football. It was the debut of Monday Night Football with
Right?
Aaron Rodgers.
Did you see record-breaking numbers? It was 22.6 million viewers
Wow.
saw Aaron Rodgers go down like that. And so, yeah, talk about taking the air out of the Jets balloon. So all eyes on the quarterback. You got Zach there having to pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
Speaking of Green Bay, some of Aaron Rodgers' former teammates went out of their way to diss artificial turf. Other players around the NFL tweeting left and right about how much they hate artificial turf. One player, specifically the Philly Eagles, their Darius Slay, went on camera and tweeted this out. The NFL needs to get real grass. This is trash. I'm paraphrasing, but he basically called it trash. Other players calling out the NFL, saying all they care about is making money. So this turf argument has been around, like you mentioned earlier, but now with Aaron Rodgers, one of the most famous stars of the NFL, this is going to come right back at the NFL, at turf versus no turf, players taking sides. I know here in Southern California, they were running commercials on a local sports radio station about signing a petition to ban artificial turf. And this was last year. This is before Aaron Rodgers' injury. So we're not going to hear the last of it anytime soon, right?
Right, right. So it's crazy to see that happening, but hopefully certain owners, because I'm guessing it has to be more of an ownership decision. Then I'm not sure who makes the decision, owner or the stadium supervisor, attendance people, who make a decision on what type of grass they got. I mean, it sounds a dumb thing to be discussing, like, hey, what kind of grass do you want to play on? But it's an
No,
actual real situation for these players because
absolutely.
it makes it different for them and the way they put their foot down. And
Yes.
I've walked, and we've all probably walked through artificial turf, and we can feel the difference. And that dirt and natural grass is just something different. But hey, you know what? At the end of the day, they got to go ahead and fix that problem.
That's right. And I just have to remind everyone that the turf installed at MetLife Stadium is new. It's about a year old. So Aaron Rodgers new to the Jets and new to this turf. So we pray everything works out. I mean, if anyone could get through this, it's someone like Aaron Rodgers, right? He is an elite NFL quarterback. So we've got other injury news to discuss. Unfortunately, so you attend a lot of Chargers practices, games. You're inside. Tell us about the latest injury bug to hit the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, it's Austin Ekeler, running back. We know what's going on with Austin Ekeler right now, how important it is for him to be on the field right now, because over the offseason, he did request a trade out of Los Angeles, and the Chargers were not able to find another team that was willing to pick him up. And in that case, Austin Ekeler and the Chargers decided to rework his contract, add some incentives in his contract, make sure that if he hits certain amount of yards, plays a certain amount of games, he'll earn that extra money that he was seeking. In the situation that he's in right now, if he misses a game or two or maybe three, because his ankle, he is dealing with a very difficult injury to his ankle. He's got an MRIs and x-rays, everything's negative, but it's just swollen. So when your ankle is swollen, you technically can't even walk on it. You got to make sure he's on a boot or something. So he is not expected to participate in practice today but moving forward, you look at, okay, Austin Ekeler might be thinking in his mind is that, well, hey, I got to make a certain amount of rushing yards all year long. I got to play a certain amount of games. So that means he's going to try to play as much as he can in order to make those extra incentives that he has in his contract. But I don't see Austin Ekeler playing this Sunday in Tennessee. Of course, it is somewhat of a short notice to kind of get the swelling down on his ankle, especially while traveling, because if the game was at home here in Los Angeles, I'm pretty sure he'd be a lot more comfortable spending time at home, getting his home doctors checking him out. But when they got to get on the road, and I'm guessing they got to leave, they're flying out Friday, I believe it is. So it's gonna be a difficult road trip right now, because the Chargers will be facing Tennessee this Sunday, then they
Okay.
will be facing Minnesota the following Sunday in Minnesota. So they will be on the road for 2 weeks until they get back for Week 4 against the Las Vegas Raiders. But hopefully, Austin Ekeler should be back by the time Week 4 continues.
Thank you for that update. We never like to hear about any injuries to any of these players, but thankfully, this sounds like a day-to-day problem, and I know you're going to keep
Yeah.
us on top of that. And
Just a
again,
lot of icing to do. A lot of
right, a
icing.
lot of icing to do, and you're right. It's different when you get to rest at home. So we wish the best, nothing but the best to Austin Ekeler. So we're going to move on to some better news here in Southern California. The Dodgers, after an embarrassing loss on Monday, a lot of sloppy play, the birthday boy, Freddie Freeman, leads the Dodgers back to another win over the Padres last night. I believe the score was 11-2. It was a great win on Freddie's birthday. And how old is Freddie? How many candles this year?
He has 34 candles.
Woohoo! Congratulations.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Freddie
birthday,
Freeman.
Freddie. And he's having an all-star MVP season himself. So glad to see the Dodgers back on top. The Padres officially eliminated from playoffs, but they play the Dodgers hard whenever they can. And they took that first game. So the Padres back at it tonight at Dodger Stadium. Let's talk a little Angels, shall we?
Yes.
Shohei Ohtani, missing at least 9 games already with that oblique injury. Now, the Angels are in Seattle. It went well on Monday, not so great yesterday. They lost, but I'm not sure what they're playing for. The Halos, are out of playoff contention. So, something about a spoiler alert, right? The Halos, can spoil playoff hopes for the Mariners with today's day game. Is that right?
I believe so, yeah, because Seattle has been in an up and down season
Yeah,
all year long. They started very, very hot, looking very good,
that's
especially with their young players. But then that AL West division is pretty hard because you have a very good, talented team like the Houston Astros. You got the Texas Rangers, and then you had the Angels because the Angels were pretty tough for the first 3 months or so. They seemed like they were in first place. They were very good, winning games. Everyone was high. Otani was on a run. But then
yeah.
once August flipped around, injuries started happening. Mike Trout is out. Otani went through his injury. And, that division was pretty wild, even though, the Oakland Athletics are still there, which a lot of people forget about because they're moving to Vegas sooner than later.
Right.
But Seattle is the third best team in that division, I would say, because you got the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros still there. But yeah, the Angels got it's fun when a team has the power to ruin someone else's season.
Right.
And so when you're in that situation, it's kind of like you might feel bad. You're like, oh well, we don't want to take their wishes away, but hey, we're here to play baseball, so you gotta go out there and win some games.
Yeah, I see. I feel like you and I are super friendly and kind like that. Like, oh, we just want everyone to be healthy and get paid, and
We want
especially
everyone
get
to get a
paid.
medal.
But I'm sure some of those players would love to ruin a fellow division, their team's hopes. We know
Right.
the Padres will do everything they can to take down the Dodgers, and I'm sure the
True.
same thing within their division. But once again, I'm sticking to it. It's not a rival between the Dodgers and the Padres. It is for them.
Not
It
yet.
is
Not
for
yet. It's a little bit. It's a little bit, but not much.
it is for them. Well, especially after last season. Whew, let's not even bring that up.
No, 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 no.
Alrighty, there you have it. You've got all the local updates here on the Sporting Tribune Report. Thank you for hanging out with us. Make sure you follow, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and share. Tell a friend about the Sporting Tribune Report. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
See ya.